Well, hi everybody. Thank you so much for coming. We had info for governments that, keep in mind that things will keep changing in the government. Today, the whole webinar is about bilocation. This is very, very important. I have a lot of information for that. The info that they gave me was very small fragment, but I will talk a lot more into it because it's connected with diet. And when you give me the questions, more information is going to come in. Bilocation is the future of humanity, by the way. So they want to give us the little bits of pieces what is possible to do. I think I'm part of all that they're trying to do, but I'm not being very good with diet. I cheated with my diet and I want to complete it properly because I'm by myself, and it's difficult when you're by yourself and everybody else around you is enjoying life and you're sitting here with a glass of water. So you guys can understand how challenging that is, but I have to complete. So the governments and whatever is happening later, if you ask me questions, I'll talk more about it, but I want to start with the bilocation. I want to thank you so much for coming. And also I want to thank all the people that sponsor me through my website monthly. I never ask for that, but I want to thank you so much for that. It's very kind of you to support me. Also, Marian Young, thank you so much for your donation for the webinar today. Happy holidays to you too, from me and Billy. And I'm gonna start by sharing a screen right now for bilocation. I'm sorry if I have a spelling mistake, I'm sorry, it's just not my first language. If it is, let me know and I'm gonna laugh about it. I'm gonna fix it. Okay, they were saying to achieve bilocation for a physical contact, you must regulate and increase the molecular structure of your body, which becomes with the diet. All the molecules have to shift their vibration in synchronized modality. That creates a specific symphony as you wish of your singular frequency rotation, and then it reaches enough potency of state vibration. It's easy just by thoughts and emotional tone to shift timeline and not only the parallel reality. Here we're teaching you of shifting into a completely different timeline of existence. That is mastery. You don't really need spacecrafts or technology to do bilocation because your body energetic form connecting with the thought and the emotions is the vehicle. So you see, once you learn how to do that, if you're completely free of that's a misspell, you can basically shift the timeline. You can bilocate to another parallel reality timeline as you wish, and this is the mastery. So come home, we are basically teaching you. When you create the frequency of all the molecule, we already discussed that this is the hologram, right? And we discussed that you are basically the whole hologram. I'm gonna make a body out of this hologram. You're the hologram. We already know that the hologram expands to infinite and collapses to infinite. We already know that. This is what we've been talking all along about, that you are the creation. That means that if you can do that and everything is based on frequency vibration, we can shift and bilocate everywhere in a structure and create any type of structure, and you can shift back and forth, different frequency. Because each timeline allocation of X and Y, we discussed about X and Y, guys, remember? X and Y, location, latitude and altitude, where you are in a quantum structure. But each quantum structure, I'm giving you stuff we already talked about. This is 360 degrees. Remember that? That you basically, when you go to X and Y, each location, if you hear, is basically giving you X and Y, the location of where you are in a quantum structure, is going to be some kind of a degrees. And this location itself is a hologram. It's new earth and is infinite. That is going to give you degrees. That is going to give you a location. But this particular location has its own frequency, vibrational sound, and its own timeline for itself, and is also fractal. All that we already must know. So if you have challenges with that, go to season 1 with Joe Penna that I did, video 1, 2, and 3, by location. You have there synchronized, all the structures that I talk about, it is there. So you have to go back and learn about that, because I have video of 1 hour to each one. Okay, so this is what basically is happening here to understand how we're going to go into the bilocation. But where is this coming? Since you are the quantum structure, and through your consciousness, you're creating the magnetic and gravitational field with the thoughts and the action to shift your vibration and degrees of where you are going to be in the location. In order to do bilocation, you have to also learn how to shift your body molecular structure into the frequency, degrees, modality, and in order to be able to shift the timeline. Because each timeline for itself has a different frequency. Well, if you're the consciousness itself, and you can do that by thoughts and emotions, you can actually say to yourself, well, I'm in a 3D right now. I want to go to 5D Earth. But in order to do that, I have to train my body to change the frequency of my molecule vibrational sequence to match the resonance of the fifth dimensional timeline Earth. That means also the degrees of the spinning of the molecules will be designed for fifth dimensional. All that is fixed together. So where is diet coming from? Why we need to go into diet? Why so much I talk about diet, and why I did the detox? You have Marina Jacobi detox. Watch that video. This was from the hybrids. They taught me how to do it. So everything you see in this diet is the way I was taught. I went through it. Then if you remember, one day they upgraded my heart structure. When I was in the bed and I was writing something, and they told me go only in the juicing, in the 15 days we're going to upgrade you. So they upgrade my body by physically, you feel that somebody is taking the heart, I pop out of the body, I was hovering on top of my body, and then you physically feel that somebody is putting the heart, and that was an upgrade. What did they do? They end up switching my basically heart structure to start resonating on 5D frequency vibration, to be steady on vibration, because was so much happening. And this way you can basically start shifting and be steady on vibration, not only a fifth dimensional structure, but also above 5D, could be 6D, 7D, whatever your guidance or extraterrestrials exist. Everybody's in a different platform. So depending on your agreement, you're connecting with this guidance. But don't think that I'm so special, because what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do through me is to show you from the physical how this is possible. So whatever I went through upgrade, your guidance, if you do the right stuff, is going to start upgrading you one way or another. You may have a contact, you may have an upgrade the way I did, or in some other way that is designed specifically for you. Once you detox your body, the molecule of your body, if this doesn't line properly, the molecule of your body is starting to vibrate, and except from this waveform, is going to go, for example, quicker. This way, you're raising the frequency of the body, molecular structure, molecule, to be matching similar to the 5D or above. And that is the reason we need to flush out in detox and drink distilled water that has a negative charge, that is pulling not the negative chemicals, that is pulling the negative chemicals out of the body, that is not from the body itself. Again, Andrew Weber on YouTube, distilled water, watch that video. He's talking about why distilled water, because the distilled water is going to pull all the chemicals out of it. We'll be able to flush out, and when you're starting to juice, the juicing, it's very potent, goes directly into your bloodstreams and flushes everything out from the chemicals. But it's not only that. Guess what the juicing is doing? Because the plant itself, it's a life structure, is not cooked. The frequency of the plantation, it's much higher than the frequency of your molecular structure of the molecules that you're carrying because of all the poison that we had in the body. So in order for you to increase the frequency of your molecules in your body, what is the molecule? The molecule, guys, is the frequency, because you made from frequency vibration. So I'm talking about energetic field, because your body, it's an energy. I'm going into molecule because we're going through matter into energetic force field. That's why I'm connecting this together. So when you increase the molecule of the body, we talk about increasing your frequency, because the plant has a higher frequency vibration than the molecules of 3D that we carry, because with so much poison and dense. Well, you need to override it. You have to switch it and put more potency in order your molecule of your energetic force body to start resonating and increase the frequency in order to start matching by similar 5D vibration. We're not talking here only consciousness, you're doing stuff. In order to do bilocation, you have to bring the body, because the body is a frequency vibration geometry that is basically shifting the timelines. And because it's no time, and because the time is fractal, if this is one earth, this is all fractal. This momentum, in order for me to shift to 5D, I gotta raise the frequency of my body. But once my body is clean, and once my body starts resonating in a high frequency, guess what? Now your consciousness is coming into fruition. Depending on how you behave, if you're in a heart structure, this is where your consciousness is coming. The heart structure. That's what I said. You have to combine the heart with the body in one unit, because those two have to combine in a singular motion frequency. That's what they're talking about. You have to do a symphony. Well, what is symphony? Vibration. It's vibration, it's geometry, it's a location. It's also degrees. Depending on how you combine those two together, you give a motion and you create an image of reality, and you're saying, I want to see my galactic family. You start resonating to consciousness vibrational sequence, and because the body is already clean, more and more you cleanse the body, it vibrates in such a high speed of vibration that when you combine this to singular symphony, you immediately give a code of geometry and structure to bilocate you into the platform of the consciousness itself of any location by your choosing. And this is how the extraterrestrials are basically shifting timelines and realities. Not only fractally, by moment to moment. I said that sometimes we forget from the kitchen, we're going into the dining area. The reason is because you don't need to go step by step from the hallway to the kitchen. You can bilocate yourself, but this is very, very similar. And this is the reason why I forgot how you end up from the kitchen to the living room without remembering what you did in between, because you bilocated. But imagine doing that not only in your platform, but from from one timeline to another. And this is what they want us to learn, because this is how you're going to connect with the extraterrestrials and higher dimensional beings, because they vibrate in a completely different vibration of frequency, resonance, timeline, including location. And not only that you're creating reality between yourself and them, but you're creating between you and them, you're creating a third reality with you and them. Remember what I was talking, that they are vibrating a different timeline and you vibrating in a different timeline. Those two, you're going to connect the consciousness in the body. You're making a one unit of symphony vibrational sequence, and here you are creating a brand new reality between their and yours. 1 + 1 = 3, quantum structure. Between their reality timeline and your reality timeline, you're creating a third one. But that third one has to be combination between your structure and their structure. If you don't have a similar resonance, you would never be able to achieve that, because you have to combine the consciousness level that they have and the consciousness level that you have to be a similar resonance. So vibrational sequence of consciousness of benevolent extraterrestrials can never connect with somebody. They will, if it's necessary, to teach you a lesson in order to help your ascension. But you will not be able to shift to go to their reality or do anything because you don't match the resonance. This is all frequency, vibrational resonance matching. And when you learn to combine all this together, then you actually plastering holographic images, because this reality, it's a hologram. You end up creating a brand new platform of reality, holographic imprint from your consciousness, by building the entire structure of your energetic force field into a new frequency. From channel 3, you end up going to channel 5, but guess what? Between those two, you created the third one. You created your own channel, but it's similar in that vibration, because you're never going to be able to fix the frequency of your body if you don't detox properly and you don't connect your heart structure from the heart. If you want a benevolent, you go benevolent. If you want a negative, then you start doing negative stuff, and you will see entities from a negative structure, because everything in a field exists. Even the most evil person in the world exists in your structure because it's part of consciousness. How can you deny part of yourself? Because even the evil person is an imprint of holographic image into your reality, but you neutralize it. We end up learning that in season 1, 2, and 3 video, mobilizing structure, fluctuating realities. Which one is more than the other? Mini, mini, mo. Whatever you feel more is what you end up in the end. 1 + 1 = 3. So all that is very important to know. This is the reason why detox is fundamental. Again, if you're diabetic, please don't do the protocol. This is not for diabetics. And this is not for people with kidney disease and liver disease, because they told me it's fluctuating so much. You need to go to a professional and detox with doctors. There's a Tree of Life in Arizona that deals with people with diabetics, and you have doctors, and you go to Rood diet. You have to watch Reversing Diabetics in 30 Days on YouTube. Again, I'm repeating that for anybody that wants to go into diet. You have all the videos on my YouTube channel and my marinajacobi.com. If you want to detox, the detox program is there. And if you go on the store, if you don't have a juicer or anything like this, everything is there. Again, the probiotics. I'm talking about fixing the gut flora for detox. The gut flora is another organ. It has to be repaired. Gluten is destroying the gut flora. Gluten is a poison. Any bread and anything like this is poison. It actually penetrates the walls of your intestinal walls, make holes, and then anything that you eat, the body could become allergic to, and you can become diabetic, you can become heart disease, anything you can think of. If you cut dairy and gluten and go to GMO-free diet, watch Seeds of Death, the movie. documentary on YouTube. It talks about the GMO. All that is necessary in order your body to be a very pure vessel. A frequency is not a dense frequency. So all the frequencies that are coming from the high order of consciousness or your guidance, in order for you to mismatch energetic force, you need to be a pure energy force, because you don't need the system. You can literally, you're not going to need the spacecraft. You literally can bilocate from one reality to another. But we have the spacecraft, and we're going to have to go through super technology because it's part of consciousness and it's fun. Why not? You don't want to be constantly in the mountains. You want to see the something else. So this is part of consciousness. That's why we're going to go through energetic, and then you have another level. You have an ether technology. One day we're going to be talking about that. That is based now on only thought process, and you imprint life structure spacecraft and you move with it if you want that. This is all possible because you actually combine all the frequencies together. So this is about bilocation. I know I said a lot. I was trying to mix everything with the diet. Diet is fundamental for this. And you eventually, when you got to understand, when you get to that point, you're already going to have some connection, and your guidance are going to try to tell you how to do a detox through your body. Because when I was doing the detox and I was doing elimination diet, it took me 1 year. The elimination diet, the last thing that I ended up doing while I was juicing, whatever you see in the protocol for juicing of the detox, I was also eating. So I start cutting the meat, I start cutting the bread, I start adding the cheese. In the end, while I was juicing, 10 cups a day, guys, 6 cups of green juice and 4 cups of fruit juice. You don't mix them, they ferment. You have to learn to be bitter, and you got to learn to drink it because it's going to flush you out. The bitterness will flush you out. If you mix them together, believe me, it's going to ferment. You're going to lose nutrients, and I don't guarantee what you're going to do with your body. But I'm telling you how I did it. So if you do that, in the end, I remember I was only on the fish, potato salads, and juicing and shakes. So they told me, cut the fish. At the moment I cut the fish for those 2 weeks, every 2 weeks you cut something off. For those 2 weeks, I depleted so much in energy. So they told me, Marina, you end up losing too much energy at once. You need to go back 2 weeks to eat fish and salad and potatoes, and then you juicing it the same. The whole time you eating, but you keep juicing. You're flushing out. Then the second week when I completed with the fish maybe a couple of times a week, the third week when I went only on potato and salad and juicing, I was fine. Then I cut the potatoes, was only salad and juicing and shakes. Then I cut the salad and was for 15 days only juicing. This is how, after the 15 days of the juicing, I got the upgrade with the heart structure. And then now is only almost up to breatharianism that I can handle only distilled water. But I do not recommend this to anybody until you have connections with your guidance, until you know what you're doing, and until you go. I always talk about Akahi Ricardo. He's very good with teaching breatharianism. But 7 days will not get you to be a breatharian. You may detox and learn how to do it, but 7 days will not do it. Follow the protocol of elimination diet the way it's in my video. Because what they told me, if you start detoxing, you cannot flush the body at once, or if you do that, you're going to overwhelm the molecular structure and you're going to shut down. And when you shut down, you're going to deplete the whole system. That's why you see some people that they've been doing detox and they've been doing, and they're like looking so sick because they depleted out of nutrients. What they told me has to be steady, because then little by little they told me you don't open the whole den at once of water, drop by drop by drop, so your molecule of your body resonance to learn to accept the new frequency and the flush out to become a steady and not to pull out of orbit. If you flush your body at once and you end up doing it this way, the way they do it so quickly, you may shut down your system and you can get really sick. But if you study the nanomaterial that I have in my books, nano, what is nano? Did I say that your molecule is also nano? What is nano? Is basically consciousness itself is also a nanomolecule, expands to infinite, collapses to infinite. But what is happening? That if this is atom, that atom, depending on the frequencies around, depending how you shift the frequencies, will become proton. It mutates, literally. So from one molecule, everything is created, because it mutates accordingly to what type of frequencies you end up putting and mixing together. It's like you're making a dish of something. Every single time could be a new ingredient. So this is fundamental knowledge to understand how bilocation occurs when it talks about completely shifting timelines. We're not talking here fractally in our reality, moment to moment. We're talking timelines. And that's why it's so fundamental our body to be very clean, because then you don't have anything dense in the body to stop the frequency that is coming, or you wish to project into your hologram. If you wish to project something above your structure, how are you going to project it when you're filled up with complete junk inside your body? The whole structure is weak, cannot hold the frequency of the vibration that is coming from above or whatever. It's not above, but you know everything is in one structure, you know, but because it's 5D, so we're gonna do it this way. You won't be able to transform it because your body is not going to be able to do it. It's slowly, and you physically and emotionally have to take the choice of really doing it. You have to wish to do it. If you don't have the will to do it and taking the action to do it, what do you think they're going to keep doing the work? They're not going to keep doing the work. They're going to back off until you're ready to accept the information, because your consciousness had to accept it in order this frequency to come properly. Otherwise, you're going to end up seeing situations for yourself that is not very pleasant because the body is sick. When you know that what the GMO is doing, why are you eating it? When you know what alcohol does, and that is depleting completely your cells of water around it, and becomes stick to each other, and it doesn't resonate properly, why you keep drinking? You can make juice from grape, squeeze red grape juice, put it in a dark bottle for 2 days, and drink the third day. Is fermented and is very healthy. That is fermentation of grape juice, and drink that as wine. I've done this. While everybody was drinking wine, I had a fermented grape juice, and the third day I was in a glass of wine. It was fun. The illusion that you have to drink alcohol in order to feel happy, you know that this is just a modality that you end up putting in your consciousness of a belief system. In actuality, you can shift your emotion and be happy without the alcohol, because the alcohol was designed to deplete. We got to wake up of really what's happening here. And I'm not telling you have to do it. You can do it slowly, detox slowly. You can have a glass of wine with some friends when you go out, but let that be very rare. I'm not saying completely. And when you start having the contact with your guidance, they're going to teach you exactly how to do that. The way they told me, Marina, go back and do the fish because you're completely depleted. We need this energy to be a little bit more in order to flush out. So this is another levels of existence. This is going to be happening, guys. You've got to understand that higher beings, light beings that they call them, what do you think they're doing? They're coming into your hologram, and you create another one with them, and you have an experience. I have actually somebody a couple of times that called me, and the guy had an absolute experience. But when something like this happens, they usually come into your hologram and they hold the vibration in order for you to be able to withstand the frequency that they're vibrating on. And yet it's another platform. But guess what? When you want a permanent contact and you want to work with them, we got to do the bilocation. Because how are you going to hold constantly the frequency vibration if you have to go there, work with them, and help humanity at the same time? Because this is happening. This is going to come. And the right people are going to be contacted for that. But in order to do that, we got to be in a heart structure, because they're not going to work with people that are in greed, money, and everything else that's happening. We have to support each other through the protocol. I never said the people coming in, and I had doctors and I had lawyers coming in and tell me, we want to do the energy philanthropy. How do we do that? They never said you jump right into the fire the way I did, because I had somebody helping me all the time. But you can transition, because money is part of the structure. You're going to have very wealthy people, including governments, that are going to wake up and start giving money to the right scientists and the right people to build the ecosystems. With the free energy technology, eventually money will obsolete. But it's necessary to build a structure. You don't reject it, but you implement it through the heart, through giving. Because if you look at all my structure, everything, yes, donations are coming, but they're coming from the hearts of the people and support. They're not coming of me taking over your consciousness and telling you what to do, because this way you're also teaching to support the people that you wish to do it, if you can do it. Support does not mean give money all the time. Support means being compassionate to somebody else, whatever shape and form you can do, moment to moment. That is the heart structure. That's what they want from us. Then you're starting to resonate in the sequences, and that's how you actually raising the frequency of your heart to another platform that is above 3D archon structure manipulation. And when you combine the body, this is the new unit that they're talking about for bilocation. Does that make sense? I know I talk a lot, but I always do. Sorry about that.
No, I think that does make a lot of sense. And thank you for like repeating and going over something.
I will always repeat. They always repeat it to me. I don't feel that is wrong if you guys ask me the same questions. That is a quantum structure. Is not easy. I remember I was repeated one of the bylaws 15 times. I will keep repeating and repeating until everybody gets it. That's how we help each other out. So thank you very much. And you can ask me any questions now.
Okay. Well, I think Dory, you have the first question. I will ask your question for you. Marina, she asks, detox, how long does detox go for? And is it a permanent change for just a period of time? And then is there a transition to a bit of a more of a cooking diet, like with some plants and vegetables? And basically, like, how does one know if the detox period is complete?
This protocol there of everything that I show you step by step is exactly the way the hybrids taught me. So you copying whatever the ETs end up teaching me. The goal is every 2 weeks, while you juicing this 10 cups of juicing, 4 cups of fruit juice and 4 cups of green juice, exactly the way it's in the video. You're starting to do every 2 weeks, make a chart, and you're starting to do elimination diet. I don't care what you're eating. If you were eating beef and chicken and pork and stuff like this, make a chart while you're juicing through the protocol that I'm showing you. That should be the base actually of what you do every day. Make a chart that this week, while you're eating whatever normally you're eating and juicing at the same time, this week, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to cut off the beef. And I'm going to continue eating every other meat or chicken, whatever else I'm doing. Then the next 2 weeks, you continue juicing through the protocol. That's going to be your base. Now you're going to cut the chicken. And you're going to cut off the chicken for the next 2 weeks while you're eating normally whatever you were eating. This way, you're teaching your molecule to start detoxing slowly, drop by drop by drop, without getting out of orbit to make you sick. And accepting the flush out and replacing it at the same time with a new frequency from the flowers and the juicing, whatever you're doing. You basically overriding one frequency with another. We talk about that. That is all quantum here. I'm trying to explain and connect it with the quantum structure. That's why it's necessary to be every 2 weeks, because you don't want to override so much to the point that it's so potent that you get nauseous and shut down, because I had people drinking the juice 3 cups at once, and the lady almost passed out in front of me. Why? Because the frequency of the juice was so potent, she couldn't handle it. You drink 2 cups at a time, no more than 2 cups at a time of the green juice. Okay, because it's gonna make you sick. I've seen that in front of my eyes. Okay, we talk in very potent frequency vibration because the plant is a life structure and has a higher frequency than your molecular structure at this moment. So that is very important to understand. Don't overdo it. Slowly but steady. So, and you're gonna continue down the list. You're gonna make a chart of everything you eat, and every 2 weeks you're gonna cut something while you're eating everything else. I don't care if you've been eating chicken the next 2 weeks. The first thing you do is the beef. In the meantime, you're eating the chicken. Then you're juicing again the next 2 weeks. Then you cut the chicken, and now you don't have beef and chicken. You don't need that anymore. The third week, you're cutting off something else. And slowly you remove everything every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, while you juicing and drinking at the same time the distilled water and using the probiotics. I was talking in a video of VSL. VSL change, you can still take it, but the doctor that produced the VSL original formula moved his formula to Visbiome. So Visbiome is the new one that I'm using, is the green box on my website under the store. You have also VSL, but you also have the Visbiome. I start using the Visbiome because the doctor moved the formula to Visbiome company. And I trust that company because it worked, that doctor because it worked. You can still use the VSL if you wish to, but I cannot guarantee whatever's happening there. So all that has to be combined. So you use the probiotics and you use the distilled water. Again, Andrew Weber distilled water. I want you to research that. And then you do elimination diet every 2 weeks. If you get nauseous while you're doing the juicing, you're gonna do a shake. Avocado blend with distilled water, you're gonna drink it. You never drink with the fruits. You're gonna ferment and you're gonna deplete nutrients. This is number one, it's very important. Okay, teach your body to accept the bitterness of the juices. And trust me, you get all the salt. I get these questions, the salt. If I tell you right now to get a Swiss chart and only make a juice of Swiss chart, is so salty that you would think that you have like a tablespoon of salt inside. You have all the nutrients in the vegetables. Everything that I show you in my videos is exactly what I've used. I didn't change anything else, okay? So life structure, overriding the frequency, and this is gonna work perfectly. But do not mix it. Remember, every other hour, you can use the fruit or the green juice. If you're still hungry while you just had the green juice, and in a half an hour you're hungry, you do not take the fruit juice. You take another one, maybe shake of avocado or shake of spinach with distilled water mixture. That's what you take. But you do not take the fruit because you're gonna ferment the whole thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Marina. Next question. This is for Jenny and Julie. Jenny asks, what's the difference between an out-of-body experience and bilocation? And what does bilocation feel like?
You had an experience, you're going from the living room to the bathroom, and you don't remember what you did in between. That is your immediately bilocation. The thing going through the hallway is missing. You don't even remember what you did. That is bilocation. That's what it feels like because it's natural to you. Okay? And yet they call it Alzheimer's. Well, that's another story. Okay? I mean, it's ridiculous the manipulation is being here. So I hope everybody realizes what we have here. Bilocation is by you physically taking your body and feels like here into another timeline that is above your 3-dimensional, 5th-dimensional reality. and it feels like here, but to less dense of a frequency. It feels normal, but it's different timeline, and that different timeline has a different frequency resonance and geometry. That is the difference.
Okay. All right, thank you. And the next question is from Christy. You are unmuted if you'd like to ask.
Oh. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
There's two of us.
So I'm wondering about monoatomic gold as a supplement or nutrient to take. I've heard people talking about that or taking that. Is that something you would recommend or you have experience with?
I never experienced, but go to the harmonic reactor book.
Yes.
Okay.
Monatomic gold.
Yeah.
What does it say there? Increases your molecular structure to become so pure is based on what? What do we talk about? It's based
Frequency.
on
Frequency.
Frequency.
frequency and teleportation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So Kevin Hay, Ormus.
Yeah.
Ormus, he has something similar. Look into Kevin Hay. He's a friend with me on Facebook.
Okay.
And look at his Ormus. The guy knows what he's talking about.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Very good question. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old am I?
Yeah.
22.
Oh, we have a baby.
Carrie, say hi. Here's the other one. Say hi, Carrie. Hi.
Hi.
She's 26.
Yes. Oh, you're learning? Great job.
Yes. Yeah. She fixed her thyroid like you.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Here we go, guys. Thank you so much, honey. I'm so proud you guys are learning. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We have another question from Rachel. Rachel asked it for you real quick, if you'd like. She wants to know, what is the difference between Kangen water versus distilled water?
I never heard about this water, to be honest to you. I've heard about energized water, but I never heard about this water. Listen, I can always recommend something that I was taught. So distilled water has the negative charge. I will always use the distilled water. When it comes to charged water, I want to mention that when you charge in water, you actually put in a frequency resonance into the water molecule. Well, that is all good, but what if your molecular structure of the body is not ready for that, or you overdoing it? Imagine you put in the same frequency over and over and over again. The body doesn't need that much. So you actually, again, you're going to do something to shut down the system. Everything has to be measured when it comes to putting frequencies on somebody. When it comes to energizing something, it has to be measured. Because you cannot keep doing the same thing over. Would you take the same antibiotic nonstop? Or Tylenol or Advil nonstop? No, you wouldn't. The same thing when you energize water. That could be okay. Remember when I was talking for frequency and sound, when I was energizing water for people, when they taught me all that? What happened there? Every single person had a different resonance of, not resonance, had a different time. Nobody had the same time. Why? Because for you, you may need to, do you remember that frequency in water? Remember I was talking about 3 hertz, 70 hertz, and 90 hertz. That was when we were increasing the frequency sound. I have a video on frequency and sound, and this was based on, it's a 1-hour video with Ron Steele I did. This is in the beginning of all my teachings, when they end up telling me what to do. And because I developed colitis from taking antibiotics a couple of times with strep throat. And within a minute, disappeared. The whole pain disappeared. Because I totally panicked. I knew that I developed from the antibiotics. And I end up hitting with so much probiotics at the same time, but was not enough. So they told me 3 hertz, 70 hertz, and 90 hertz. And I have on that video the frequency generator that basically was giving you how to basically put a frequency towards the water. Online frequency generator. That's what I have. And the link is underneath that video. Is actually online tone generator. That's what you need. And you're gonna use the square when you put it. There is gonna show you for originally when you energize water. In that protocol, I'm showing you that you take a glass of water. That's distilled water, by the way. You take a glass of water and you energize that glass of water with the online tone generator. You're gonna put the speaker towards it and you're gonna energize it. And the 3 hertz is for 20 minutes. It's gotta be in a separate room, not in the same room. So you're gonna, if from the living room, you're gonna move to your bedroom and you're gonna energize this glass of water for 20 minutes, 3 hertz on the online tone generator. So you're gonna put 3 hertz and you're gonna put the duration of the time will be 20 minutes. And that is 20 minutes. Soon as you finish the 20 minutes, you're gonna drink it. You're gonna bring another glass of water in the bedroom, separate room, distilled water again. The next thing is gonna be 70 hertz online tone generator again for 20 minutes. Soon as you finish the 20 minutes, you drink the glass of water. Then immediately you're gonna bring the 3rd cup of glass of water, distilled water, and you're gonna put 90 hertz and an online tone generator for 20 minutes. This modality was actually for every single human being, generic, to keep your frequency vibration in a proper, healthy level. And yet, it is not going to be healing you completely because we're talking for a healthy being. But when it comes to healing something or getting rid of something, the duration is different, end up being different for absolutely every single person. And I've done this, I have a video on that, how the whole thing was different for everybody and was telling me that person needed 45 minutes of 3 hertz. The other person had 30 minutes of 70 hertz. And all that could be 21 minutes, this could be 30 minutes, this could be 33 minutes. And this was designed specifically for the person that was talking to me. They were telling me what they need, and they tell 3 hertz is needed 21 minutes because this and this we're fixing in that person energetic field. So my point is, you never energize 20 minutes, and this what I gave you is for everybody, but when you want to heal something, that is customized. Because the frequency of your body now is resonating in something completely different. And how are you going to heal that? If you take a pill for something, they give you different milligrams. They not give you the same milligrams. If me and Billy have antibiotic for something, I'm sure we're going to have a different milligrams of antibiotics, right? The same thing is happening here.
Right.
So the video frequency and sound with Ron Steele is showing you exactly how to do that. I have a whole hour. 20 minutes is generic for everybody. If you're a healthy person, to keep your body in a healthy. I didn't trust them when they told me that. That's 20 minutes for all of them, for every single person. Until I started doing the research, and sure enough, I saw a scientist was talking that basically the proper frequency between the body to have a healthy body is 70 hertz and 90 hertz. And I've learned that from my guidance. Then I went and did the research because nobody was talking about it until I found a scientist that ended up saying something. This is how I've learned. If I don't trust something, even they never lied to me, I'm going to go and say something, see something. The only thing sometimes I've noticed lately that if they given me predictions for government, something could be slightly off. And I found out this before when they were talking about the House of the Representatives. They gave me something else, and that's because it had to be kept that way until they reveal what's really happening. So sometimes some of the messages could be slightly off, so they do whatever they need to do.
All right,
For
thank you, Marina.
protection and anything else. Okay, I just want to say that so you guys know. So this is for energizing water. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Any other question?
Yeah. Someone asked, does it matter for those tone generator apps, the different waveforms, like triangle versus square?
I did the square because the square I can hear. The other one you can't hear. And there was a scientist who told me, they're right. Let me put this here. The 3 hertz you cannot really hear. But it doesn't matter if you don't hear. That's why you put the square, because then you hear the the whole time, and it's telling you when to stop, right? The reason why it doesn't matter if you don't hear it, the vibrational sequence is getting into the field, into the water molecule structure. That's what you need. So it's still there, even if you don't hear it. It's still projected towards the molecular structure of the water.
Thank you. And then someone is asking, how often do you need to do this? Like how many times a day or a week?
They told me to tell you, you can do for regular stuff because of what's happening. Do this for 3 days, once a day. That's it. I'm not talking individual here. I'm talking in general to have your body in a healthy vibration. But in the meantime, do the juicing, do the detox. If you're really sick, I can guarantee you this is gonna do too much. And I put 30 minutes here, 40 minutes there, may fix something, but not exactly, because then we need a super equipment to be measured the person. Something will be fixed, but I don't guarantee healing here. Okay, especially if you have to go through lessons. This is going to be general for everybody, generic for everybody.
She's asking, how long should a person stay on the probiotics?
Listen, of what I experienced, I've done it 6 months, I've done it a year. I'm not a doctor, so I can, and yet they take the probiotics as a supplement, dietary supplement, which is completely ridiculous, because actually the probiotics is another organ in your body, by the way, if you listen to doctors, the one that are not in the mainstream media. Probiotics is always good for the gut flora, especially, but I would take, maybe if you're okay, maybe like a month or 2, just to boost up your system. The Visbiome is working great. Has a lot of parts per billions, and there are 7 or 9 different strains. Anything that is over the counter, the probiotic may not be very potent. Probiotics should come in a freezer, not in a freezer, in a box of ice. This is how you receive the Visbiome, by the way. They come in a huge box and is ice around, because it's not dead. So if you buy something over the counter, I can't guarantee you anything. It could be not potent enough. Maybe he has a one strain. One strain is not going to do anything. It's a joke, you know. What I give you is what I used. Right now, on my fridge, I have the Visbiome, 2 boxes I have. And you drink that with distilled water only. Because if you put regular water, I can't guarantee you what is in regular water. I don't want you to deplete the probiotics. Probiotics, you drink on an empty stomach in the morning and an empty stomach at nighttime, right before bed. Let it work nice in your gut flora. It's going to give you the good bacteria, and it's going to start repairing the tissue and the villi into your gut flora. I've learned all that medical stuff because of my son. So I'm like an encyclopedia when it comes to gut flora repair. We all ate GMO. All of us ate gluten. I guarantee you that gluten penetrates the whole of your intestinal walls, and don't be surprised when you so much problems with that. So no dairy, no gluten, non-GMO. That is number one. You gotta cut off the diet permanently. Start repairing with distilled water and probiotics. Start doing the juicing slowly so you can raise the frequency, and then you're already learning stuff like this. Your consciousness is coming together as a one unit. Then you're gonna start seeing the changes. Then you're gonna see synchronicities. All of a sudden you may have a contact. All of a sudden your guidance, somebody's having the dreams, the other person start doing out-of-body experience. Everything is happening designed specifically for you. This is the protocol that your consciousness woke up in order for you to get, because you would never found my material if you're not resonating in a similar vibration as mine. So don't think I'm more of you. I simply ahead of the class, but I stuck with whatever I'm doing. That's the difference. It's a commitment, and it's not easy. It's very challenging. So if you stick with it, if you work on it, I guarantee you results. It's a master class here. We came here to finish master class. Planet Earth is a mastery. To get out of it and shift the timelines and the realities. Because we remember we talked about shifting archon structure with fifth dimensional heart structure. Talking about artificial intelligence consciousness.
All right, well, thank you, Marina. That's all the questions for today. Is there anything else you'd like to end on?
I love you guys. Thanks from my heart to yours. I love you, and thanks for trusting me and coming so I can express my higher self through you. I don't know what else to say. I think in order for us to see the changes, we have to work together. And thank you very much for your trust.
Yes, thank you all.